You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
What's up, Ronnie Bo?
How are you?
All right, we got to stop making a habit of this, huh?
A habit of what? Doing our 102nd episode?
Wow.
A habit has been 102 weeks.
We also have to coordinate, I know, talk about it in the month-end thing for the Patreons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Month-end thing for the Patreons. If you don't know what that is, every month we do a Zoom call or Zoom. Zoom call isn't really the right
It's a
way
Zoom
to
meeting.
say it. Zoom. Like
Come on, Zoom. Remember that?
No.
You never saw Zoom when we grew up? Come on and Zoom.
Nope.
Look it up.
I know. Zoom. Remember that?
No, what's that?
Mazda. That was their old slogan.
Oh, but mine was, there was a kid show.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was like on a stage.
Yes.
And the kids were, it was like in blue.
And they would sit in the letters.
Yes.
Look that up. I want to see the intro.
They were wearing like big baggy sweatshirts.
I don't remember what they were wearing, but yes, they were running around. And it was, I'm going to zoom. Like, hi, I'm Bobby or something, whatever it was.
Let's see.
The intro to Zoom. They really have it?
It only ran in the 70s. How do I know if
I remember that. It's unbelievable.
Maybe I was thinking of something different.
But you were saying before you put that in, what is for our Patreon members, the Zoom thing, Ronnie?
Here's Zoom. Oh, yeah. Well, here's the open. This?
Yeah. See? Zoom.
What are they doing?
1 minute.
This is not what I was thinking of.
1 minute. I loved it.
What
We used to watch
the
it.
show?
Wait. It was a kid's show. I don't know all different stuff. We used to watch it all the time. So for those of you who are my age, reach out to Bronny DM if you remember Zoom.
You don't have to.
I
don't need to.
I want to
DM.
know.
Then DM to you. You said reach out to me.
No, don't DM me.
I don't give a shit if they watch Zoom.
I
or
don't
not.
give a shit if you give a shit. I like to know.
So you'd like to know if I know that they watch Zoom.
Correct.
That's what it is.
You're the one that handles the behind the scenes. You need to let me know the data and all that stuff. Or data. Can you talk about the Patreon?
We do a Zoom, not a Zoom, a Zoom video call on every month for our $10 a month Patreon members. And so if you want to...
We have a good time.
Zoom with us, then go join that. Patreon.com/
Let's watch an episode of Zoom tonight.
No. I don't need to watch a random PBS kids show from the 70s.
Wow, you have a lot of hostility in there.
what a waste of
A lot
time.
of hostility. Why is it a waste of time? You can learn. You learn so many things. Why not be knowledgeable in Zoom?
I know the song now.
Okay, come on, Zoom.
So when this was released, you will be away. So we're recording this a few days early. I want to give that caveat because the world is in a very tumultuous place. And if, God forbid, like something happened, and then you hear us talking about Zoom, and you're like, how did they not talk about how Russia launched a nuke? If that's the case, it's because we're recording this early.
If that was the case, you'd be dead. You never would hear about it.
No, well, now that today, in the last couple of days, they've been talking about doing tactical nukes. That's what Russia has been saying. So like just launching one small one like on a border town. But so it wouldn't be like we'd all be dead. But anyways, that I just want to give that caveat in case you're like, how are they not?
Because I'm going out of town.
How are they still talking in front of their set? We're in a nuclear holocaust. How is their set not obliterated?
Okay, well, that's not going to happen. But so yeah, I'm going out of town with Nelly. So we're trying to knock this out.
Where are you going?
California. Visit Bertles.
Burke, for those who don't know.
Looking forward to seeing Berkey. So what's going on, Bronny?
Nothing. This is the week of my test.
When do you take it?
Well, this comes out on Monday, and my test is on Friday.
Oh, so I won't be here.
No, you won't be here for my test. Is
Good luck,
in my LSAT.
Ronnie.
Thank you. Friday morning.
It came quick.
So quick.
Wow. Good luck. I know you can do fine. How are you doing on the practice?
Fine.
Or you don't want to peak too. You don't want to like. Is there a time you stop? Like
no,
studying?
I think I'm gonna take a practice test on Thursday, like the day before my test.
Do they say to do that?
No, but I have found that it's better for me. I found that I perform better on a test, not cold. Like when I might even Friday morning do like a couple practice problems just to get myself warmed up when it doesn't count.
Okay, when is the exam?
10:20 is my slot.
And where is it, on the computer?
It's wherever I want it to be. I can do it on the toilet if I want to.
So you would do it here. How do they do that?
No, I'm going to do it from my... So I've been to every practice test I've taken has been in the same place at the same time.
That's where you're going to do it.
So I've scheduled it for the same time that I take my practice test, and I'm going to do it in the same place.
Which is your apartment?
Yeah, my desk.
Okay, and how do they do that without you cheating?
They watch you through your webcam and your microphone. They're listening to your microphone the whole time. So like someone's on the other side of your computer watching you, and you have to hold up your computer and like show it the room around before. You have to like, they have to see your whole room so that someone's not like hiding, or there's not like a whiteboard with all the answers. This would be a very hard test to cheat on, almost impossible, because it's not like.
But how do they know you're
information-based.
Bronson Bloom taking, not some expert?
I probably have to hold up my ID or something. That's a good point. I don't know, but I'm sure.
I'm curious. Let me know, because it was very different when we took it.
Like for the SAT, I had to come with my ID
And you show your ID
to like the to the person there.
Yep.
But this one, and then once the test starts, I can't leave my seat. It's honestly stupid because there's no way you could cheat on this test. There's just no way. I couldn't even imagine formulating.
You want to, because you don't want to achieve your success down the road and look back. It was all based on one lie.
Yeah, I mean, this is just to like get into a school, so it's all kind of bullshit, anyways. But yeah, anyways, there's no way to cheat.
That's exciting. Oh, good luck, Bronny.
Yeah, thanks.
And then, excuse me. And sorry, yawning. And then, that's that. And then when you get your results,
November 2nd. And then my application for my early decision deadline is November 4th.
But you're going to have that all done.
Well, the application will be ready. And then on November 2nd, right when I get my test score, hopefully it's what I want. And I just click submit. And then November 4th is the deadline for that. And then November 21st is when I'll hear back from early decision.
So you don't.
So hopefully by November 21st, I'll
you don't have to apply to those two other schools locally if you get in.
Correct. I'm going to wait to do those.
Correct.
Because those applications aren't due until like July. I'm going to wait until November 22nd to do those applications.
So November 2nd is the day.
November 2nd is, yeah.
And then you're a free man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got a month more of work on this shit. And it's been 3 months, so not horrible.
No. Wow, that went quick when you decided
so
to do this.
fast.
Life
Isn't that
goes
crazy?
too fast.
Before I know it, I'll be fucking graduating law school.
Wow.
Life is way too fast.
And then you'll take over the firm. Do a hostile takeover.
Baby.
What do you think
I'll do a Kendall Roy succession.
What do you think you want to do from a law standpoint?
I don't know.
Do you want to work in my firm eventually?
Maybe. I honestly don't know. So for me to be like, yeah or no, it's
it
like
would be
I don't
stupid
feel
for you
strong.
not to transition to my clients and their families.
Eventually.
My clients are going to have kids. You wouldn't handle their kids' stuff. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, that seems like the natural progression.
All right, just make sure I get a good payout. That's all.
Okay, should be 4 of the contract right now.
Well, I'm working on it already, just so you know.
I feel like that's like in a decade.
Always 65.
I have 3 years of school before I can even...
It's 6 years out.
I think 10 years out.
No way. Because then it's too late for you to transition into my stuff.
Why?
Because I'm going to be out. I plan on weeding out.
By 65, you plan on being out?
Hell fucking yeah. How much more can I keep working?
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. By 65,
Don't
you
I
should retire.
deserve to? And I'll come in
No,
twice.
You always have to work.
No, but I'll come in. I could still be around. I just don't need to run it. And man, I could come in 2 days a week.
I won't let you.
Just leave my office vacant
That's fine.
and pay the rent for the building.
Sure. Yeah, but so yes, the week
Exciting.
this comes out is a big week.
And you want to do this?
Yeah, I mean at this point definitely.
No,
I do.
You want to be a lawyer?
Yeah.
Why? If you don't mind me asking.
I think I'll be good at it. I think it's a good career path. I think it's something I'll enjoy. Like I think I can actually help people, like make an actual, right? Like a lot of shit you do, even though you're just doing like how you call it, you're like, it's boring work and all the shit, what you do when you read like contracts and stuff, you're actually
Helping people.
like directly helping people's lives.
Mhm.
Where like when I would make movies, a lot of time I was like, this is so fun, this is so great. And then you'd spend 2 years or like you'd spend a year making a movie, working so hard for a year. And then someone watches it and an hour later, it's like, oh, it made them happy for an hour, but then that's it. So it's like, it didn't really impact their life for the majority of people, but like you can
They count on you.
Full on save many lives.
People
Not
count,
saved by saving, but you know what I mean.
People being sued or whatever. People who've been harmed by somebody sued for damages. So people do rely on their lawyers.
You become a very important person in many people's lives.
That is true. 100%.
And that seems rewarding.
It is rewarding when you look at it that way.
And it'll also reward you. Financially.
They got to pay out.
Right. So it feels like it could be rewarding internally and externally. So that seems like a good
No, I think
trade-off.
You think it's a very good point, a good positive way of looking at it, and we can spend more time together.
Oh God.
No, but I'm busy now. I don't fuck around. I'm like a beast in the office.
Sick. No, I'm joking.
Well, you got a taste of it when I went to that trial, right?
Yeah. No, I know that you're.
Did you like that trial?
Yeah, I know that you're good at what you do for sure. I'll be better at it, but I know that you're good.
And
at
I
it.
hope you are. I really hope you have the ability to achieve that.
I hope so as well.
Then you'd be phenomenal.
I would be the best in the world.
If you were better than me, you'd be fucking beast. That's like, I can't even think of that. But wow, good for you. I do hope
It'll
you
happen.
can. Well, under my training.
Exactly. Because you've got my natural abilities already, and then you're Mr. Miyagi-ing me.
Right, wax on, wax off.
Then I'll just be I'll be the ultimate karate
You'll
kid.
be doing the fucking crane all day long.
For sure. Just in the courtroom. Wah!
No sound effects. Just wax on, wax off.
True.
And you probably do a lot of waxing anyway. But I'm
No, I can't. My skin's too sensitive.
Okay.
I've been waxed before. I've had my hair waxed before.
Well, I was talking about jerking off, not literally waxing. But
Well, why would that be wax off, wax on?
You wax. Okay, never mind. Forget about it. Here we go, literal.
No, I have sensitive skin. Even when I shave, my whole face erupts.
Oh,
It's so annoying.
Erupts.
Yeah.
Erupts.
Erupts in blackheads, if you will. Or not blackheads, ingrowns, whatever the fuck it is. All right, should we talk about something actually of value?
Wow.
And not this bullshit for 12 minutes? There's not much, though. Unless there's been a nuclear holocaust, like I said.
You said you had a couple of things that you wanted to say for this one.
Yeah, no, I do have some things we should talk about.
Bring it on.
Last week I think you'll find this one interesting. The internet definitely found it interesting. Last week at Paris Fashion Show.
Yes.
Or Paris Fashion Week, which I can only imagine is like the most annoying fucking entitled shit
the people
in the
are
world.
gonna be fucking brutal.
Because not only are you in Paris, which is like already
the
horrendous,
arrogance,
but then it's Fashion Week.
Yeah, and then the arrogance and the dressing and I can only imagine the flamboyantness.
Yeah,
that's
so
even a word.
fucking annoying.
Yeah,
flamboyancy would be the word, but that's all right. That's why I'm going to be the better lawyer. Kanye had a show, right? Like each designer has like a show. And at Kanye's show, he showed up.
He's a designer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember we went to Gap last month and he had his Balenciaga sweatshirt there.
That's Kanye?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's the belt you guys got me?
No. Balenciaga isn't Kanye's, but they do a lot of collabing together.
Oh, okay.
But your belt was just a classic Balenciaga belt.
Okay.
But Kanye does a lot of, remember we talked about his shoes? Like
yeah, okay, I'm with you.
He's a designer.
Okay, go ahead.
He is such actually a successful designer that Adidas, the shoe company, I think it was like 80% of their profits in the last year were because of Kanye. Kanye's products.
How stupid people are.
And then there was this whole thing. There was this whole controversy like last month. We didn't talk about it, but Kanye went through Adidas wasn't accepting Kanye's like latest offer to like re-up on their deal or something. Let me get the details. Kanye, Adidas.
Yeah, but stay with one issue.
Well, they're all related. Here, so this was back in September. Kanye told Bloomberg on Monday he plans to exit his corporate partnership with Adidas and Gap once they expire after attacking the companies in an Instagram rant last week for allegedly copying his designs. So he was like posting screenshots on his Instagram of just like the headshots of the Adidas executive board and just like calling them out and being like, they're ruining this deal. And then
he's an idiot.
He was clearly going through like a whole breakdown, but I think it was,
He has such problems. Such a weirdo. How did he even get to be so big as he is?
He's a businessman.
I think
he turned a rap career into being relevant always. But I know that he was like, he like more than half of Adidas's valuation now is directly because of Kanye. And like same with Gap. He like took these brands and made them huge, which is insane to begin with.
Pathetic. To even think that one person can do that to a company.
So he's definitely a successful designer. But at Paris Fashion Week last week, he started his show and walked out with a shirt that said "White Lives Matter."
What?
Yeah, and part of it. That's
interesting.
That's like one of his main new designs at this show. He had all these like black women models walking a runway with White Lives Matter shirts.
That's interesting. And what's your take on that?
I think
is a mockery.
I think it's twofold. I think on the one hand, he is kind of crazy and
pushing the envelope.
No, I think that's the other hand. But I think on one hand, he's crazy enough to be like, Black Lives Matter has gone so far that I need to now remind people that White Lives Matter, like be like conservative shit like that. Okay. I think on the one hand, it's that. And then on the other hand, he's calling it out and being like, it's all absurd. I don't even fucking know what.
That's interesting. Yeah. I want to see the take on that. What happens?
Here's the shirt. He like started the show by addressing all the people in the audience.
Let me see
in his shirt.
And say, "Oh my god!" It
says "White Lives Matter." So
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So he came out, and said, "I am Ye, and everyone here knows that I am the leader."
I am what?
He changed his name from Kanye. His legal name is now Ye. Drop the Khan. So it's just Ye. So he started.
Bronny, this is fucking comical.
Yeah. Kanye-co. He said he started the show by saying, "I am Ye, and everyone here knows that I'm the leader. You can't manage me." Then he's
a sicko narcissist.
Then it says sending
narcissist.
And so he came out in this White Lives Matter shirt. He said, "I can't tell the difference between these people." Oh, he told Vogue the day before the runway show, he said, "There's just people from the same planet, and sometimes in high school it feels like we don't fit in. In a situation like this, we have the opportunity to come together to express who we are. It's leaning into the shape of how I see this future world, this alternate world. But in high school, it's focused on curriculum because my parents are educators." I don't even know what any of that means.
What is he even saying?
See,
look at your cuticle in that one hand.
Yeah, it's because I'm studying.
Wow, you destroyed that pinky.
So here's a black woman wearing a sweatshirt that says "White Lives Matter."
Unbelievable. He's going to start selling that. He's going to make millions off that.
Yeah, that's like in his brand. But also then it's just weird because it's like, I don't know if he's going to make millions off of it, but like people on the right are probably going to wear that. But then it's like,
I don't know. What's it going to stir up now?
Yeah, it's stirring up a lot of shit.
But
people on Twitter are like freaking the fuck out.
But if they're allowed to have Black Lives Matter, can you have White Lives Matter?
Of course.
Can you have right?
Of course.
I mean, technically it's freedom of speech.
But what is he trying to say? Like, what's
I don't
going
know.
on?
It's very interesting. Ye, his name's Ye.
Yeah.
He's retarded. People that listen to him are retarded. What was the song?
But on
Dum, Dum, about his mother's name or something. Dum,
Donda.
But
if you if you just search Kanye on Twitter, you can see all these people like outraged at him.
Why are they outraged? Why can't he do
Oh,
what
here,
he
he just posted this on his Instagram 4 hours ago. Instagram story. It just text that says, "Everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome." He just posted that on his Instagram.
Isn't he right though?
Yeah, I mean,
the person that started it. What's that? Go back down. What's that? Skeet, whatever his name is. Teeth.
Skeet. You were right. That's what Kanye calls Pete Davidson. But like a lot of people, and then like, look, he posted this yesterday on his Instagram story. "Saul, I know how you feel. I lost my Kim too." Don't know what that means. I don't know.
He's a strange bird.
And people are just freaking out. Wow. A lot of black people are freaking out because they're like, a black man.
Why? Can he do what he wants? I understand why, but can he? But I don't know. But I've always tended to agree. I think all lives matter.
Gigi Hadid slams Kanye for coming after Vogue editor Gabriella Carifa Johnson. "You're a bully and a joke." What happened there? What did he say to? I mean, there's so much. It's also all the stupid ass drama between all these like designers.
I know, grow up.
It's just like, who cares?
You know, it reminds me of Zoolander.
Yeah, it's all stupid ass shit.
It's so true, Zoolander.
Oh,
that's funny news.
I mean, it's just
it's
weird.
Funny.
But people freaked out. Like someone commented on Kanye's Van.
Ye.
Who's Van?
They did it on Ye.
Lathan. True. Van Lathan commented on one of the posts that Kanye posted and said, because someone commented, "Do white lives not matter?" Because they're saying like, why is this shirt controversial? Right? Like, why should anyone have a problem with a shirt that says
Correct.
white lives matter?
Right.
Do white lives not matter? And someone commented, I don't know who this is, Van Lathan. Let's see. Van Lathan. I don't know who this is. The film producer. 20 hours ago, Van Lathan reacts to Kanye West wearing a White Lives Matter shirt saying it's a white supremacist notion.
Why is that?
He commented on his Instagram. He said, "We don't need a reminder of the worth of white lives. America is a shrine to the worth of white people. This message is reactionary to a message affirming the worth of black lives, which have never been worth anything in America. In its intent, it's a white supremacist notion because it posits that we can't have a conversation about the worth of black people without having a conversation about the worth of white people, which is fucking insane. The notion that it always has to be about white people in America is frustrating, emotionally draining, and the whole problem." But here's Kanye apparently centering that notion. It's been a black conversation without a white conversation for 2 years. Black Lives Matter has been around for more than 2 years.
And you couldn't even bring up anything about white. I think this racist, this black guy who posted this thing, whatever his name is,
Van Lathan.
He's a racist. He could have a valid point, but because he's a racist, the way he said it, he lost me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I think he's a racist.
Well, he didn't say that white people suck. He didn't say that black people are
No,
better than white people.
but you could tell by the tone and the anger, he's a racist. I think if he said, "Listen, why do we have the Black Lives Matter movement?" I don't want to keep talking about this because it's like boring as it is, but the Black Lives Matter movement should be able to stand on its own. We're not saying anything against white people. We're saying Black Lives Matter needs to be recognized in addition to white people's lives being recognized. I think he can said it in a more intelligent way to get his message across rather than his anger and his venom.
Yeah, well, he's clearly like emotional about it.
Well, I think he's also a racist. I think that just because you're black, just because you're white doesn't mean you're racist. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You don't hate black people or hate any other kind of ethnic
But a lot
group.
of people will feel that because you are white, you are inherently privileged and therefore your life is unfair.
And even you're racist.
Yeah. Or your life is a product of racism.
I'm actually very happy that Ye did this.
Yay. By the way, this guy Van Lathan is wrong. I mean, this is going to be insensitive of what I'm about to say, but he said that this message is reactionary to a message about the worth of black lives, which have never been worth anything in America. Quite literally, black lives had an actual worth to them. They were literally slaves with a monetary value, a literal worth. So to say they've never...
Yeah, but I think...
but that's technically true.
I don't think
black lives have to add an actual worth.
I don't think you should be Bronson in this analysis.
I'm just saying, he's wrong.
But...
to say that black lives don't have a worth now is insane.
You can't say a slave had a purpose.
Oh, it had more of a purpose than white people.
No, it had a purpose for the benefit of white people controlling them. Therefore, it's you know what I'm saying? You can also say, based on your theory, and this is going to sound very crude, child trafficking for sex slaves, they have a worth because they make people get off. You know, you can't say not talking literally. Okay, so my point is, it's bad. There wasn't the black people that chose to be slaves.
Of course, obviously,
I know what you're saying, but don't be a Bronny Bronson on this one.
I was trying to make a joke. I don't think
Okay.
I know that he actually didn't mean it that way.
I think black people have a much stronger voice today than ever. There is a worth. They're even getting jobs. I'm not sounding in a bad way, but that are given just based on their color as opposed to their merit. So there is a lot of what's going on where the black people are being heard. Is it enough? Obviously not. Is it enough to the black people? Obviously not. But it doesn't take away that white lives still matter and all lives matter. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm okay with what Ye did.
There's an inherent problem.
Food.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I got really hungry.
Good. Yeah, me too.
There's an inherent problem in their name, and that's what
and it is a scam. Remember the woman took the millions?
Oh, well, literally.
The whole thing was a scam. Even with the fucking government would donate this, it's such a scam. And I also think, and again, I don't want to be a dead horse with the whole BLM shit. The way it was handled, the way they went about doing it, I'm completely against. I will never agree with it. I think they were not protests. There were a lot of riots, a lot of people being hurt. And I think there's a different way that it could have been handled. That's just my own opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. The best Kanye moment, it was before he went crazy, was when he was Kanye, Mike Myers.
Yay. It's Yay.
Yay, sorry. But this was Kanye back, because this was back in the day. This was great. So it was during it was like a raising money for Katrina type telecast or something like that. I don't remember specifically. It was so good. It was live television. Yeah, it was during Hurricane Katrina. It was on NBC. And so Kanye was hosting along with Mike Myers, right? I just watched this.
We never hear Mike Myers anymore. He's just under the radar. He's retired and makes a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
Watch this. It's great.
With the breach of 3 levees protecting New Orleans, the landscape of the city has changed dramatically, tragically, and perhaps irreversibly. There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting.
Look at Mike Myers'
white
face.
Family, it says they're looking for food. And you know, it's been 5 days because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation.
This isn't even the moment I wanted.
I'm calling my business
I want to watch
manager
something
right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people.
What do you do? Look at
the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, this is Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Look at
Please call.
In the past
they got away from him.
America.
That's how legendary is that?
Wait, go back.
Kanye just goes, George Bush was the president at the time on live television.
The people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Mike Myers.
Please call.
Isn't that great?
Wait.
The past few days.
Okay, that's
America,
hysterical.
Yeah.
And I have a question though. Why is it that a black person say, those are my people down there? Okay, if it was just all white people, do we say those are our people? They're people. There's no connection to there's no.
We would say if it was like a Jewish tragedy, it would be like our people got attacked.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think
but it makes sense if you're in marginalized groups that you bond together.
Okay, fair enough.
It's easier,
but he didn't do anything.
It's easier to.
He wasn't even coherent. What he said.
You weren't coherent either.
Yeah, I corrected it.
It makes sense if you're marginalized and you're in a minority, you band together more with similar people than a majority.
Giving them the right to shoot the people down there. Who's shooting them?
Yeah.
Who's shooting anybody
about?
with the flood?
And then he's silent. He goes, George Bush doesn't care about black people.
It's amazing that he's so wealthy.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That's great.
No,
and George Bush probably didn't care about black people.
He's an
But see,
idiot.
that's interesting to see his change. Back then, he was saying the president doesn't care about black people, and now he's saying white lives matter. He's wearing a shirt that says white lives matter.
Change.
No, it's interesting.
I've seen that before. That's hysterical.
Yeah, I love that.
Mike Myers is great.
Also, in the same realm, because Kim and Kanye are ex.
Yay.
Yeah, true. This episode brought to you by Manscaped, which as we're going to the fall, my Manscaped routine has been changing from the summer.
How's that, Bronny?
Because my Manscaped routine in the summer is get rid of it all, right? It's so hot out that I got to get rid of it all. Now, Manscaped products are even more important. Their precision and their technical accuracy is even more important in my life because in the fall, it gets a little chilly out. It's more appropriate for me to like keep my hair on my body, But now it's even more, when you just shave it all off, you don't need to worry about how it looks. It's all gone. But now it's like I need the precision of my Lawn Mower 4.0 to make sure that my fall bush is trimmed.
Unbelievable.
So it looks good. So I'm even using my Manscaped products more now in the fall, and you should be using them more now as you go into fall and winter.
And like I travel, I'm going, I take it with me. I don't even need the charger because the battery lasts so long.
Oh, yeah.
I use the little trimmer for my nose and my ears, and I bring it with me and whatever. And it's a great thing. It goes in my little travel case, and I'm happy.
Yeah, their stuff's the best, as you guys know, or if you don't know, you should. But head over to manscaped.com, check out the Performance Package 4.0. If you're new to the brand, that'll get you everything that you need, so you don't have to worry about it. Just do that. If you are new to the brand, or if you're not new to the brand, you might not have heard of some of their new products, like their 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, their body wash that smells like the absolute best. It's what I smell like all day with the refined scent. So if you've ever smelled me, it's because of that.
Deodorant?
A lot of people think of them just as like their trimmers, but they also have great products. So head over to manscaped.com, use our code DaddyIssues20, and you'll get 20% off on everything and free shipping. Once again, manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20 for 20% off and free shipping on your entire order so that you can get your winter bush under control. Because Kim and Ye used to be husband and wife. Kim has landed herself in all this shit. Have you heard about anything going on with Kim?
No. Really, you think I know anything about Kim and Ye?
She's being sued by the SEC and has to pay millions of dollars in fines to them because she, a month ago.
This is crazy.
So it says here, Kim Kardashian's aspirations to become a lawyer could be jeopardized. Oh, Kim and I are going to be going to law school together by charges mounted by the SEC related to an alleged pump and dump scheme. So apparently she posted
Let me see
a
what
month
she
ago.
looks like. Let me see what she looks like.
Well, she's totally changed now. As I called it.
What do you reckon? I
go to
know
her
we
Instagram
spoke
and-
about it.
yeah,
We went through these photos already.
Well, she posts photos every single day.
Okay,
That was
gotcha.
a month ago. She posted this story on our Instagram a month ago or something. It says, "Are you guys into crypto? This is not financial advice, but sharing what my friends just told me about the Ethereum Max token. A few months ago, Ethereum Max burned 400 trillion tokens, literally 50% of their admin wallet, giving back to the entire Emacs community." Okay. And then tag that company. And apparently she was paid $250,000 to make that post.
But is anything wrong with that?
Well,
I don't know.
apparently, so it says, it says, former New York prosecutor and current criminal defense attorney Duncan Levin said that she will be questioned about the SEC case if she tries to become a member of the bar, since aspiring lawyers must not only take the bar exam, but frequently must go before a character committee. There's a very serious issue it's a violation of securities law, and when aspiring lawyers go before the bar, okay, I don't care about that.
I'm not worried about that. That's not an issue.
She agreed. So here's the thing. This is what I want. This is the article.
Let me see.
Announced
Can you point? I'm going to see what she looks like. Okay.
Well, this was a long time ago. The SEC announced on Monday that it charged her for touting on social media a crypto asset security without disclosing the payment she received for the promotion. They settled.
I don't think she'll win on that thing.
No, they already settled for $1.26 million in penalties, disgorgement, and interest. It says the SEC said Kim agreed to settle the charges, pay $1.26 million in penalties, disgorgement, and interest, and cooperate with the ongoing investigation.
Please, I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, if she settled for that, do you think she just settled?
She just doesn't want to deal
it's
with
just
it.
easier.
Yeah,
than,
of course, because go fight
so it
City
said
Hall.
Kardashian paid the penalties without admitting or denying the SEC's findings.
Correct. That's
she
how it's
also
always
agreed to
done.
refrain from promoting any crypto asset security for 3 years.
But why can't she give her a platform? Just like people do that platform about political position. Why can't she say, hey, guys, she's not part of this
But
crypto.
you can't be paid for stocks, can you?
She's not being paid for stocks. She's being paid to advertise.
Right, but advertise a company's value.
She's not advertising company value. She's just saying, someone told me about this thing. You guys should look into it.
But isn't it if
she didn't say, I'm doing it. Here's the information I know. I'm part of it. Who knows what her involvement? Listen, they just go after you. The government goes after you, and that's what they do. And she figures it's not fucking worth it. I'll pay $1 million, which is like $5 to you and I.
To her, it's nothing. Yeah, of course. Right. But I feel like that. It said here, according to the Fed, she failed to disclose that she had paid $250,000 to post an item to her tens of millions of followers, touting Emacs Crypto, the digital coin that was offered for sale by Ethereum.
But I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about SEC law or rules, and I don't know if that's a violation that she has to say that she's paid for it. I mean, there's plenty of market makers out there that make these markets on these stocks and do that. They disclose what they're being paid. What about if a celebrity or someone does an endorsement? If you're fucking doing LeBron does fucking AT&T commercials. Is there a disclaimer what he's being paid to endorse AT&T? I mean, think about it.
I don't know how it works.
I just think they just want to fucking go after her, and this is what they do because they have nothing else to do. There's not so every.
But also, don't you think so? Her whole goal in life now, like her whole thing, is to become a lawyer, and she's studying for the bar now.
Right?
Don't you think if she knows she didn't do anything wrong, she has the money to fight the government and make sure that the bar association knows that she didn't do anything wrong?
Because there's no admission of liability, so she'll explain her position. So I don't think that will stop her from if she passed the bar. I don't think that will stop her. But on the same token, think about it. Does LeBron James or anyone else do an advertisement or whatever it might be or things like that, or they wear an endorsement? What about all over the fucking everything is endorsements? So the reality is they're hiring. When you look at these basketball players or football players and they have stuff on their jersey and like that, does it say what to be?
They don't have
paid?
stuff on their jerseys.
Okay, but
They're not allowed to.
Okay, let's take soccer for example. Okay,
Soccer, right? They are allowed.
right. So does it disclose what the thing? And obviously, the more
Well, that's advertising.
no, but she could be advertised. Why can't she be advertised? I don't know what
I don't know.
I don't know what the SEC rules state, but I don't think she did. I think she settled strictly just to move on and be done with it and put it behind her.
Yeah, probably.
I think
And
she
not
would.
be in, like,
I
a
think
whole
she
legal
probably
battle.
would have won on the merits of it, but she would have lost because she's a public figure, and they would have probably tried to go after her.
Imagine posting an Instagram story, not even a post, a story which is only available for 24 hours and being paid $250,000 for that.
But if they
$250,000 for a post, not even her face, not even her saying anything, text,
right, just coming from her domain or whatever,
just on her Instagram. It's just because she has such a following.
it's shocking.
I mean, she is she is the most influencer. She can influence so much that the government's going to sue her.
It's unbelievable. This world is so bizarre that it's so bizarre. It is bizarre when you think about it from maybe not as much to you, but how I grew up to where it is now. It's crazy.
It's better this way.
Well,
Because back then, like when you grew up, you were still full on, you were still full on influenced, manipulated, marketed to.
there's pros and cons to the web and the internet.
But like back then, you were marketed to, and you had no choice because there were like 4 places that you could watch
there was just
entertainment.
Charlie chips or Wise potato chips.
Oh, I wasn't
or
even
Lay's.
I wasn't
saying
even
there's only
meaning that.
three
Like
choices.
platform-wise, for you to be marketed to, there were really only like 5 places, right? The television, which only had like 3 channels anyways. Billboards.
Pamphlets.
Yeah. That's really it, right? Like where
and
else?
radio.
Yeah. So, which radio even, like there were probably barely any stations that people would listen to. But now it's like, let's say like Kim Kardashian, I don't follow her on Instagram. So I'm never seeing her ads because I choose, and like we run ads on this, but we only choose specific ads that we like. So if someone, right, it's much more focused marketing. So it just makes much more sense to me.
But there's also so many downsides to it with the
Like what?
corruption, the fraud, and the identity breaches.
But
There's
you don't-
so many issues from the internet.
Oh, well,
I'm
but that
talking
has
about
nothing to do with like influencer marketing.
No, I wasn't talking about influence. I was talking about how things were so much more wholesome and how things have changed so
I think
drastically.
things were wholesome because
Ignorance is bliss.
and
I
you're
think
looking
it's
through rose-colored glasses, and you were propagandized to make things look wholesome.
still better than all the corruption. I think it was a much simpler, nicer time.
What are you referencing? What time?
How things are more wholesome.
No, like what year? Like
when I grew up in the 70s and 80s. That's all I'm saying. Things have drastically.
everyone under 18 was being shipped off to die in Vietnam. That's not wholesome.
But you know what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? It was a different value system, and now because there's so much different.
Black people couldn't do shit.
I'm just talking about. I hear you, but
It was more wholesome for you.
There's no place. I'm only talking for me. There's no place that's perfect. There's no time that everything's perfect. I think the internet, as you know, and everyone knows, our listeners, my view on this, the internet is bad. I don't agree with it. I just think it's a bad thing for our society. Are there positives? 110%. There are a lot of
positives, but I think that the world would be better if the internet shut off tomorrow.
So you agree with me?
I don't agree that the world was a more wholesome place, but I think that the internet is a net negative, not a net positive.
The world would be better without the internet.
Definitely.
I agree
with that, but I don't agree that the world was a more wholesome place in the 50s.
Okay, but
we're just told
I wasn't born in the 50s.
Or the 70s.
I'm talking 70s, 80s, but for me,
the 80s, everyone did like mounds of cocaine. And
I can speak from living in both eras and raising kids when I was your age in that era. So I have more experience than what you're basing your upon, right? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, these are definitely opinions, but also like your experience back then was a very, very selective experience. And you're a kid.
Sort of like yours.
Yeah, but like when I look at my childhood too, it's like I was a kid. I don't know what was really going on. I was a kid.
Nor should you know what's going on.
Right, exactly. So it's.
But I'm saying raising a kid, I think raising a kid when I was raised is a better, more wholesome experience and family values and things like that than raising a kid today.
Yeah, probably.
That's all I'm saying.
Being a kid probably was easier or more wholesome.
I think it's more enjoyable is my feeling. The kids grow up too fast today because of what's going on.
Kids are better now because we have access to more
You might
things.
be more well-informed, but you're also maturing quicker and you lose your youth.
Or did you, right, but is that I think is more natural than maturing slower. Like I think you guys might have had arrested development because
No, kids entertain themselves with things outside as opposed to doing things. Girls weren't getting laid at the age of 13.
But that's how it should. Okay,
that's not how it should be.
It is. Up until 1920, a girl turned 13 and she was married off and had kids.
Okay, do you
and became an adult.
Do you understand?
So I think and since the dawn of humans, that's how it's been. So for 50 years, right from the 20s to the 90s,
they're not getting married. I'm talking about, but there was still a wholesome. Kids got married at 13 because that's the way it was. There was a wholesome. Wasn't the girl posting naked pictures?
It wasn't wholesome.
Getting laid.
They were like shipped
times.
off and raped by 50-year-old men because they were like of age. It's not wholesome.
All right, then I'm wrong about that.
No, well, just because they were out of family doesn't mean the family was wholesome.
I just think if I was a child knowing both, raising you and me being raised in the 70s and 80s, I would rather still be raised in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
what I'm trying to get at.
Probably.
I think it's just a bad time, and the internet is a big.
Well, the internet should definitely be turned off.
The internet's a big moving factor to those to why I feel it's better to be raised in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, the internet's a huge one. And whenever I say, yeah, the internet should be turned off, people are like, what are you talking about? That's completely impossible. So that's a ridiculous thing to say. And it's like, it's not impossible at all. What are you talking about? The internet, people are like, well, it's completely crucial to our life. And it's like, yeah, but we made it that way 10 years ago. Literally 20 years ago. Since the dawn of humanity to 20 years ago, the internet didn't exist in the way it did now. And so it was life not only got on, but successfully got on. We created America without the internet. We created movies and entertainment and technology and whatever it's called, electricity, everything without the internet. So now the internet all of a sudden is so crucial. It's like, no, we can live without it.
I agree with you. I would be happy without it.
Every single generation of humans up until mine lived without the internet.
You want to book a trip? You go to a fucking travel agent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, things would be less convenient, of course.
But
things would also be better.
I think less convenient is also a good thing.
It's a good thing on a long-term scale for the world.
In
yes.
every aspect.
Definitely.
Efficiency and quickness is not always better. It creates laziness. You lose quality.
In the short term, it's usually always better. In the long term, it's usually always detrimental.
I have no problem with the internet.
That's like why I don't shop on Amazon, and it's definitely not convenient. Like I have to buy hair gel, right? And on Amazon, the exact same hair gel is $12 for the thing, and it comes to me tomorrow. But I don't buy it on Amazon. I buy it directly from the company, and it's $20, right? It costs more because the company has to ship it themselves and all this stuff, and it takes like 11 days to get to me.
How do you survive?
It's definitely not convenient, but it's better. The company's making more money, right? It's a small company, so the money is more valuable to them than it is to Amazon. And I learned to be a little more patient. So everything about it is better.
No, I'm fine with that. Remember when the whole COVID thing happened and things shut down and sort of we had to spend family time together and go back to basics? It was nice. Remember, if you ever have an outage, a blackout, and you got to spend, it's nice. It creates you to slow down, wholesomeness. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that part is nice of it because it's like a change in the pace. But if it was always the pace, then.
But I had always that pace and it was fine growing up.
Yeah, no, definitely, but it's always like grass is greener too.
The kids, no, but I was on both sides of the grass. On the fence.
But there's even another side of grass too. Like, of course, when there's a blackout, and we can like all sit around and like watch a movie or whatever.
But kids
It's
hung out and
more
talked,
wholesome.
not texting each other. People went out, you dated,
Yeah.
you had to go on a date, you had to ask to call the girl. Talking on the phone was something you did as opposed to just texting.
No, well, definitely. I mean, dating now is
It's fucked up.
it's ruining our society, literally.
Oh, it's the social media is what's causing the ruin of society.
Yeah, but dating specifically is like having such serious problems because we're seeing all this. We've actually never talked, I don't think we've talked about this on the show, but you're seeing all this data now that like one of the biggest worries from the developing world
Sorry for yawning.
is
Yeah.
that our birth rates are too low. Like we're not reproducing enough in the developing world. The undeveloped world, third world countries are developing so much, but the developed world, which is the one like that is more important to the world on a larger scale, right? Not the individuals, but on a larger scale. America is more important to the world today than like Somalia. It just is on a global scale. We're not producing enough. We're literally negative, our birth rates, because people aren't having kids, because people aren't dating. It like literally all goes back to that. It's like
terrible. Right. I
people-
noticed you kids are even getting married older. So therefore, right. I see that.
Yeah, and even now if people are getting married, either they're not able to have, even if they want to have kids, they're having a harder time having the kids because they're getting married later, so their bodies are older. There's all this contaminants, right? I've talked about that, there's proof that the plastics in our food and water supply
lotions, everything,
are changing our hormones, so we're not able to reproduce. So not only if people want to have kids, they're not able to as easy as they used to, but most people don't want kids like they used to because the more educated people get, the more money people get, the less
more
they
selfish
want.
they get.
Yeah, the less kids, the less they value
It's a
children.
responsibility.
And it's also just people aren't mating. Like people aren't meeting other people
And having relationships.
in person to have sex, to have children.
Right. They're just doing booty calls.
My kickball season finally started, which has been great. It was delayed because of the hurricane. So we're back every Thursday now. I get like a good hour outdoors with my friends, exercising.
Good group of people. Good camaraderie.
And then we always like go out after and go to a bar. It's great. I've met new people from it, friends from it. I love it. And it's just a great thing to like keep up your week. You know, it like breaks it up. And our friends at Lug Sports can help you participate in any sport that you desire and do it socially and for fun with your friends during the week.
And you meet new people. Like if you're new to the area, you've met plenty of people, right?
Oh,
That you're friends
definitely.
with
I've met friends from doing my sports.
Right.
At the
So
end
doing
of the
these
day.
sporting events, if you're new to the area, you don't know many people other than with your work group. It's a great way to have instant friendship because you have the commonality of doing the sport.
And it's like a fun way to exercise. It's way better than being in the gym. Like you end up exercising so much you don't even realize it because you're playing a game. And Lug Sports offers a shit ton of options for you. Like we like kickball because it's fun and like stupid. You know, we don't have to take it seriously.
And they're not athletic.
Yeah, and we're not athletic. But like if you played a sport, you know, in high school and you want to keep it up, they offer it for you.
Hockey, they have everything.
Yeah, their hockey registration is still open, but I know that they have limited spaces, is what they've told me. So head over to their website now if you're interested in playing hockey. They pretty much offer every city in America. They have a lot of options in Canada. And they're opening basketball registration soon on October 18th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you like basketball, you know, and that's a great one. If you are a basketball player or want to get better at basketball, do it in your free time. Head over to lugsports.com and register for basketball right when it opens on October 18th because there are limited spaces.
One more time, what's the site, Bronny?
Lugsports.com. Check out all their sports. I do kickball. It's a blast. But whatever sport you're interested in, they definitely have one for you. That or it's just online. Like they're just like talking online
Right.
and they're never meeting up in person.
And now VR is growing, which is more pathetic.
Or they're just not even bothering with any of the dating. They're
Right,
just
so it's just asexual.
they're just individual person who's just like they just have no desire for the dating world because it's too hard or they don't feel that drive or whatever for whatever reason. And so literally there's a huge worry now that like there's two worries with it. One, we're going to not have enough people. And then the other worry is that like if countries like America and Sweden and France and the UK are running out of people, but countries like China and India and Nigeria and Brazil are having so much more people, the whole power balance of the world is going to shift within the next generation. It'll take like 2 generations. But right, if we run out of people to do jobs, But China has so many people that they can accomplish all these things. They're going to just run the world, right? If there's a problem that we want solved, right? Like let's say we want to solve the problem of AI, or even something even simpler. Like we're running out of water, so we need to figure out a solution to getting more water. But America, because we don't have many people, we can only put like 7 mines to it. But China, because they have so many more people, can put 700 mines to it. They're probably going to figure it out before us.
I'm sure.
So it's like within the next couple generations, the world power is going to completely shift. Not even because anyone's better than the other, but just because they're having
The
more
numbers.
babies.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but maybe that will shift too, or maybe things will go back to some sort of basic and people want to get married younger and have kids. Who knows? But I see it. I totally agree with you because it's all our friends. I can only talk about it in our little bubble growing up, but every one of my friends when they were in their 20s had kids.
Yeah. And the problem too, it's not even if we wanted to, right? Like let's say there's a big cultural shift and everyone in Burke's generation, right? Like people who were becoming 20, everyone in that generation was like, we want to have kids young. We're going to get married and have kids young. A lot of them still aren't able to because their bodies are poisoned, literally. Like if you look at conception rates in America in the developed world, it's like they're down the tank. They're completely abysmal because people are just infertile. People are having a harder time because of all the poison that we put in our body and all the poison in the air probably too. Like it's just, it's a huge problem.
Well, you're like Debbie Downer these past couple of.
Well, this has
let's
been
talk about good things.
That's
I want
a
to
big
about happy things.
Name one.
I don't know. I'm working all the time. I don't know about happy things.
This isn't a bad thing. It's just something we have
No,
to
it's
be
a factual
cognizant
thing.
of.
You're saying I don't take it that you're being negative. You just state an obvious statement.
And I'm
what's
saying it
transpiring.
because it's like, I'm not saying we're all going to die. I'm saying this is a problem that we have to face. Let's actually face it instead of ignore it. Because if we ignore it, then it's a big problem.
I think people will be able to have kids. I think people just need to meet younger. And, it is right. People going on the either.
Let's look that up.
People are definitely not having relationships at the same rate or young age when I grew up. I mean, I even look at you boys. I mean, you guys now want a relationship, but I guess Bryce is 23, not looking for that. I get it. But
That a lot of that's cultural, definitely. But a lot of it is also the women over the last 20 years. But before the feminist movement in the 60s, but really like in the 70s and stuff. Before that, women, their whole job culturally, right? Like the importance of women culturally was to have kids. So they wanted to, right? So they were told that they wanted to.
But that's how we grew up.
That's what I'm saying.
We knew that you graduate college, you get a job, you meet a girl, you get married.
Yeah,
and it worked.
But what I'm saying is on the women's side, women were told that their job is to have kids. Their whole purpose was to have kids and young. So when a woman was in her early 20s, she was like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to have kids. Now, since like post-wave feminism and all that shit, now women are told, I do think this is changing a lot. I see it changing. But over the last 20 years up until now, women were told, you can actually do anything you want. And so you don't need to be the person that have kids.
And then they'll be lonely when they're older.
Right. But society and culture is telling them, actually, you shouldn't want to have kids because that's not feminist of you. You're just like the guy.
Yep.
So you should achieve the economic and power goals that you want to achieve.
Right.
But then the problem with that is, think about it. So if you're a guy, let's say even you're a guy and you don't ascribe to the main thing where everyone is wanting to have kids later. You're in your early 20s and you're like, I want to have kids now.
You'll meet a girl that will want to have kids. That's what will happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I'm not talking about individual. I'm saying on a grander scale, there are much less women now to do that with. So of course the birth rates are going to go down.
Right.
If most women are like, I don't want to have kids. I want to become a CEO before I have kids.
Right.
Then they're just going to be less kids because there's less women wanting to have kids.
They're going to have to come up where a man can give birth now. That's the next thing.
Well, men can give birth, trans men.
You know what I mean?
I'm joking.
Okay.
This here.
Well, okay. And then we got to do a fatherly advice.
Yep.
It is so true what you're saying, but I think also
trying to see where
I think it's also so sad. I mean,
Johns Hopkins Medicine. Let's see. This is from 3 months ago. Johns Hopkins Children's Center study found women who are older, are non-Hispanic, Black, or lack health care have higher rates of infertility. During recent decades, the rate of infertility among women has largely remained the same, according to research at Johns Hopkins. Interesting. Their new analysis of data collected from 95 and 2019. Yeah, but that we need to look earlier. Found that infertility is more common among women who are older, who are not Hispanic, Black, and who have. So they're saying infertility is higher among Black women and women who have less income or education and women without access to sexual health services. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But we need to find it on a larger scale. Studies conducted in the early 2000s found that rates of infertility declined throughout the 80s and 90s, although reasons for the decline were unclear. More recently, experts suspect that the rates of STIs, which have risen from year to year, are contributing to the rise in infertility. In addition, they say the number of women receiving preventative gynecological care has dropped, and the average age of first-time mothers has risen. So things we all said, women are having kids later.
Mm-hmm.
This is a unique time period where sexually transmitted infections are on the rise, and there are a number of emerging. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, I mean, it's a problem. Let me see. Birth rates in U.S. Let's go to news. Let's see what they have to say. So I'm not just speaking out of my ass. Here, the Week UK book. Declining birth rates mean for our future. I don't even know what that is. Op-ed. U.S. has a replacement fertility rate problem. Newsweek. Plummeting birth rates could lead to a hyper-liberal future. What does that mean? This was published September 9th.
From Newsweek?
Yeah, a study. Here, plummeting birth rates around the world could lead to a hyper-liberal future, scientists have found. A study, experimental and cross-cultural... that's the name of the study. Researched whether parenthood had an influence on social attitudes. The aim was to understand the origins of divisive social attitudes on issues such as abortion, immigration, and sex. Before now, the impact on parenthood had not been widely investigated. Yeah, but I would think liberals are having less kids than Republicans.
I would think so.
Prior to understanding the study, researchers hypothesized that people more invested in parental care may be drawn to conservative policies. This is because traditionally conservative views favor family values, safety, and stability. Mm-hmm. Researchers found evidence that showed that those who showed a greater desire to be parents were more drawn to conservative values. On the flip side, researchers also found evidence that those who were already parents are conservative. A postdoctoral research fellow in psychology at UPenn who authored the study found that these findings contradict the commonly held belief that people become more conservative with age as a result of experiencing the harsh realities of life. This belief is captured by the expression that whoever is not a liberal by 20 has no heart, blah, blah, blah. In fact, when you statistically control for the effects of parenthood, older people are no more conservative than younger people. The researchers believe that in light of these findings and globally declining birth rates, this could lead to a more liberal future. How? It's the opposite, I would think.
No.
That's because if people don't want children or are putting off having babies, they are less likely to have conservative attitudes.
I understand that whole article. They're saying more parents, people who are parents and have children and families have a tendency of more conservative values than those who don't. So therefore, if there's a decline in birth rate, there's going to be more, as a general statement, more liberals out there than conservatives. That's what it's saying.
Wouldn't it also mean...
I understand the article.
Wouldn't it also mean that the next generation are going to be mostly Republican or conservative because if mostly people who are having babies are conservative and they influence their children, most people are going to be influenced by Republicans.
But for those... But if the birth rates decline, there's less people out there.
Yeah, but the liberal people are going to all die off.
Eventually. But they're saying for a situation like that, it's going to be more liberal.
Yeah.
Let me tell Brooke. I'll call him back later.
Given that birth rates are declining in most of the world, but increasing sharply in some regions, the current findings could have profound implications for the political landscape of the future. Yeah, so that's what we were just talking about, how in the next 20 to 50 years, China and India are going to run the world, and America's not going to have enough people to run it. We're just simply not going to have enough.
Hopefully, we'll go back some sort of old. Hopefully, within the next 10 years, if we get things back on the right path of America, we can start bringing America back again.
But we're not even going to be able to because people
Not only
can't
make
have
America,
babies.
not make America great again, bring America back again.
Those mean
Bama.
Those mean the same thing.
Bama, baby.
Make America great again and bring
Bring
America.
America back a Baba.
Yeah, but those are the same things.
All right, good.
The problem is that that's not true. Even if everyone has a change of heart, most people still are having trouble conceiving, even having children.
People are going to be able to have fucking babies. They're going to have babies. So
Why?
It might be harder. They're going to have babies.
It's not really happening.
Okay. All right. It's going to happen. You'll see. The world's not going to be, if there has to be less people and somewhat of a correction, because I think there's too many fucking people in this world as it is, so be it, that's fine. But people will be able to have babies.
We're all too poisoned, and it's too late.
Okay.
It's integrated.
All right.
But
All
there's
right.
not enough. Yeah, there's not enough data timeline for it to be proven wrong or true.
People will still have babies, whether it's harder or not. Maybe whether there's less people will still be having it.
Well, the babies are all going to be weaker because it's not the strongest sperm reaching the egg because you have to do it through IVF.
But then
the doctor has to.
I don't know.
help.
Maybe that is the strongest one. Maybe they can pick out the ones that that are the strongest. Who knows?
No, but like nature, the reason why humans have been so good at surviving is because nature has made it where you and me exist because the one sperm that turned into us was the one that was able to penetrate the egg.
Not everybody's going to need IV. People are going to be able
But if
to
the
have
majority of people, right, if rates are going up and if they keep going up, then eventually a majority of people are going to exist not because they were the strongest sperm, but because they were random. And then that will probably
still
be
not
harmful.
random
Of course they are. If the IVF doctor doesn't choose the sperm that goes into the egg, they just infiltrate the egg with all the sperm. So the sperm don't have to swim up the fallopian
It can't be
tubes.
worse than the fucking people in this world right now. So
No, but what I'm saying is it's going to keep getting worse.
I don't think so.
Definitely.
I don't think so.
Genetically, it's going to keep getting worse. Yeah.
Why don't you just kill yourself now? What's with you, Pesco? You're like,
No, I'm trying to raise alarms so that people here listen and make their lives better.
So you cause people to commit suicide? Is that
No,
what
so
you're
that
trying
they
to do?
make their lives better. Don't do the plastic. Don't do the seed oils. Don't make sure that you're healthy now. Make sure you can reproduce now. Don't wait till you're 40 to have kids. We need you guys listening.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you got to sell it a little bit better.
I'm trying to fear monger so that
Well, you do
we save the
You're
world.
literally committed to well, all the members that went down, they all killed themselves.
I'm trying to save the world.
Okay. I think your approach needs to be better, but okay. I think you're right what you're saying, but your approach needs to be better. What do we got following advice? I'm starving my ass off.
This is from Emily.
Hi,
I love the
Emily.
podcast. I always think you give really balanced advice, and I would love to get your opinion on a situation regarding university and work.
Thank you.
She must be
Canadian.
from Canada, right? Because she actually said uni and work. I'm currently studying at uni, and I've just completed my placement year working as an intern. I have really loved my time with the brand and have now been offered a paid position. However, I was supposed to go back to college in December to finish my degree. I'm really torn because a part of me just wants to get my final year of studies out of the way so I can move on with my life, as I have not had the best university experience, and I don't think I want to be 23 by the time I finish my degree. I know I have put time, money, and a lot of hard work to get this far through it. I know I need to finish it, and if I took the job, it would mean being a part-time student and working part-time. I also know I don't want to leave my job, as it's been a great experience and I've learned so much. I'm unsure if I take the job, I'll resent prolonging my studies by another year, but if I don't, will I have given up a great opportunity for more work experience in the future in an industry I love? I would appreciate any advice. Interesting. That's a dilemma.
It is a dilemma. My advice is education is the most important thing. There'll always be, you're young, there'll always be other opportunities for
She's
job
not saying
bars.
she's going to stop education.
But I don't, but
She's just going to prolong it.
well, but, or she might, because she's discouraged by it and doesn't want to prolong it, she might just say, I don't need to finish.
But that's not what she's asking us.
Okay.
She's saying, do I go to work and continue school, but it's going to prolong school and I want to be done with the school? Or do I just knock the school out and then give up the job?
What do you think? There's no right or wrong answer.
No,
by
I
the way.
know. I think you finish school.
I think you give up the job and you knock out school and move on. You have your whole life to work.
Yeah, and like it's not like you're in school, so the job will understand. And if anything, you can always try to get a job there
you can always-
later because
you-
you already have your in.
You will always get a job. You finish your school, that's your priority, right? And that's your job. Your school is your job. You need to finish that, get in, get out, knock it out, move on, and start with your career. Don't prolong your career. This job, there'll be plenty of those jobs. I promise you that. Watch 20 years from now, she'll write back, I never got another job.
I think you got to finish school.
Finish
Because
your
also,
school.
if you're like working and doing school, you're going to be half-assing both.
No, knock it out. It's one more fucking year. Be done with it. You went into college, uni. You went for university for a particular reason. You need your education. Get in, get the fuck out, finish it. You don't want to prolong it. You want to get done with it. I can tell by what you said as it is. There will be plenty of jobs down the road. I promise you that.
Right, that's even more reason. If you know that you don't like it, you want to be done with it, prolonging it's going to make you resent
And you're not
school
going to finish.
and work.
She's not going to finish it. She's going to be like, I'm working. They offer me more hours. I got a promotion, and you're not going to finish school.
And it's going to make you not like your work.
100% finish your school. Emily, easy one to answer.
Yeah.
I'm talking as a person who's educated. I have law school under my belt, and I'm a parent. Finish your fucking. There'll always be work for you. There'll always be jobs, and this one job is not your end all job where it's going to end your career. Finish your work at this one place of employment. Telling you, there'll be a dime a dozen. Finish your school.
I agree.
Emily, good luck, but let us know what you end up deciding to do. I think you need to decide what we told you to do. All right?
Yeah, well, ours is the right answer.
Ronnie, love you. Thanks,
you too.
everybody. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.